Hey, good morning and welcome to Motivation for the Nation. This is Action Jackson. Welcome to the show. I'm so excited that you are joining me here today on Motivation for the Nation. We're going to get our groove on this morning. I've got some amazing guests for you waiting in the green room. As always, if you're watching, type up where you're watching from. Don't be shy. I want to say hello and say what's up to you. If you've got family members that you want to invite onto the show, just send them the link to the show. Just make it happen. Share the link. Today we've got an amazing topic up for you. Welcome to Motivation for the Nation. This is going to be an amazing show. Hey, you know my morning vibes. My morning vibe is very simple. I can't do my morning vibes without my feel-good sunglasses. Good morning to my wonderful people. As always, Kerry, Tommy, and Eliana from Amsterdam. Welcome. Good morning to Nancy. Welcome. Please don't be shy. Type up where you're watching from. I want to see where you're watching from. Where you watching from? When you come into the show, we are polite here. We are very polite. How you guys doing? In the comments below, please type up. How you feeling on a scale of 1 to 10? How you feeling? How you feeling? Just type in the comments below. Copy the link to this live show and send it to your family members and say, hey, join us live. Hey. Today we're talking about how to deal with offense. In a moment, we're going to start our warm-up. The vibe is good. Let me see your comments. How you feeling on a scale of 1 out to 10? How you feeling out of 10? Ooh, we got 9 out of 10. That's a good number. That's a good number. That's a good number. Hey. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Action Jackson. Motivation for the Nation. Jake, good morning from my bedroom. Okay, good morning from my bedroom. Grace Ogunyemi and Johnson Ogunyemi, welcome to the show. This is Motivation for the Nation. We have a very, very powerful show packed for you today. Welcome to the show. This is Motivation for the Nation. Are you ready for our warm-up today? I hope you're ready for our warm-up. This is Action Jackson. Do send the link to this show to many people. Tell them to come and join us. Okay, without much ado, let's get straight into it. I'm so excited. Each and every morning, I feel good. I think everyone should wake up every morning with the good vibe, Good vibe is a positive vibe. Now, every morning on the show, what we do is we do a morning warm-up. The reason why we do the morning energizer is to get you guys feeling good about yourself. The reason why you should feel good about yourself, movement is everything, okay? Dancing is the quickest way to get from sadness to happiness. So with that said, you guys know, if you've been watching the show, you know this is how we pump it up. This is how we pump it up. Good morning, Shamika. Time to pump it up. Are you ready? Are you ready? You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. We're pumping it up. We're pumping it up. Let's pump it up. Pump it up for me. I want you to dance with me. Pump it like this. Pump it. Pump it. Pump it. Pump it. Just pump your hand like this. If you got your phone on one hand, pump like this. Just pump, 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 pump. There we go. Motivation for the nation. Motivation for the nation. Come on, come on. Motivation for the nation, motivation for the nation. Are you dancing? Motivation for the nation, motivation for the nation. Come on, Drake. I can see you, mate. Motivation for the nation, motivation for the nation. Come on, come on. Motivation. If you're watching, welcome to Motivation for the Nation with me, Action Jackson. Each and every day, increasing your dose of happiness. Let's go. Pump, 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 pump.
You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know?
Come on. Don't get tired. Don't get tired.
You got to pump it up.
Yes. Welcome, welcome, Shamika. Move. Here we go. Pump it. Pump it. Pump it. Pump it. Pump it. Pump it. Motivation for the nation. Motivation for the nation. Breathe. Motivation for the nation. Motivation for the nation. This is your morning workout. Motivation for the nation. Motivation for the nation. Come on. Come on. Yes. Woo. That was tiring, right? Good morning, everyone. This is Action Jackson, and welcome to Motivation for the Nation. If you've just tuned in, you're thinking to yourself, what have I just tuned into? Well, you've tuned in to Motivation for the Nation. Shamika says, only you can have me dancing like this at this time. Oh, yeah. Listen, there's no rule to when you can dance. Good morning to Phoebe and Martha. Good morning to Jake. Good morning to Grace and Johnson Oganyemi. Good morning to Kerry, Eliana, and Tommy. Good morning to Nancy. Thank you so much for joining me today here at Motivation for the Nation. We've been going live every single day. Every single day. This is our fourth week. Fourth week. It's amazing. So today's Tuesday, so we've done 17 episodes. This is the 17th episode. You were part of that. You were part of that. Look, you're part of that. Well, thank you so much. I'm so grateful that you've been able to join us today. Well, what's this show about before we go into the next section? Well, this show is about motivation. But I don't think many people understand the definition of motivation. Motivation is drive. To have a drive to do something, okay? The drive. Now, many people have lost their drive. They've lost their drive. They want to do stuff. Their heart says yes, but their head says no. They're not motivated. So when someone's not motivated, it means they've lost their drive. The aim of this show is to give you back your engine so you can drive to your dreams. There are different things that might have taken your drive away. Maybe this pandemic has taken your drive away. Or maybe the loss of a job or the loss of a loved one or any kind of situation might have caused you to lose your drive. Well, put it this way. Don't you ever let anything on the outside take away the beautiful thing you have on the inside. Be very, very, very careful. The second part to the show is when we do our meditation exercise. This show is not just about information, it's about transformation. So what we do in this part of the show is we do a breathing exercise. All you got to do is just sit up straight. You take a deep breath in, then you breathe out. You breathe in, you breathe out. And we have a phrase that we say every single day when we do that breathing. I know my regulars are going to type it up in a moment. While they're typing it up, here's what I want to say to you. Words have power. Words have power. Be very careful what you say. What you say can cast a spell on your mind. I'm reminded in all these movies like Harry Potter, they've got this spell book and they open the spell book and they read words that cast spells on people. Well, guess what? Whenever you are negative with words, you cast a spell on yourself. And the phrase is, all I need is within me now. All I need is within me now. That's the first phrase. So everybody breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. And I want you to say those phrases for me. Say, all I need is within me now. Because that's a very important phrase. Say, all I need is within me now. Somebody tap that up for me. Say, all I need is within me now. Because everything you need to be the person you need to be is inside of you. But we think everything we need is outside. Well, that's an illusion. Because everything on the outside came from the inside. What do I mean the inside? An idea from inside. A thought from inside. And then you acted on that idea. Everybody's running after money, running after food, running after popularity. But did we not create the great things on the inside from the great thoughts on the inside? So everything from the outside comes from the inside. So here's the phrase. All I need is within me now. I am happy to be alive. Say, all I need is within me now. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Put your hand on your heart and say, all I need is within me now. Say, all I need is within me now. Say, all I need is within me now. These are powerful words that you need to say to yourself. Start thinking about you. Eyes, nose, mouth, lungs, your heart, your hand. These are the things we take for granted. You don't know how powerful your thumb is until you can't use your thumb anymore. You don't know how powerful your legs are until you can't walk properly because you twisted an ankle. That's why I do not want us to take the simple things of life for granted. So if I get you to start counting, I'm grateful for my head, grateful for my eyes, grateful for my ears. There's a reason why. It's more than just an intellectual exercise. It is an exercise to help us to understand that there's richness within us. So say it. All I need is within me now. Say, all I need is within me now. See, you got it. The second phrase, I love it. I am happy to be alive. All I need is within me now. I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy to be alive. Everyone say it. I am happy to be alive. Say it. I am happy to be alive. I am happy to be alive. I can hear you. I am happy to be alive. So when we combine that whole phrase, all I need is within me now. I am happy to be alive. All I need is within me now. I'm happy to be alive. Now, what are we thinking when we're saying that? We're thinking about things we're grateful for. Very quickly, as you're watching, I don't care where you're watching from, I want you to type someone or something that you're grateful for. We do this every single day. This is how we keep our mind focused. We think on things that are beautiful. Think on people that make you feel good. Think on things that make you feel good. Write that down. This is an active show. This is the only live show that allows you to write and we will comment back and forth. I don't want you to lose your drive. I don't want you to lose your energy. I don't want you to lose your motivation. I want you to keep your motivation. And the only way to keep it is to tap on the inside. So very quickly, type up. What are you grateful for? Who are you grateful for? If you're watching this as Motivation for the Nation with me, Action Jackson, we're doing our gratitude exercise. And thank you to everyone who's watching right now. I welcome you to the show. And the reason why this is so important is this. When you think on things that are good, you feel good. You feel good. You feel good. Take a deep breath in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Oh, wow. Thank you so much. So my family all the way from Welling Garden City say, I am grateful for you. Thank you so much. Nancy says, I'm grateful for life. I'm grateful for the sunshine. I'm grateful for shelter. I'm grateful for provision. I'm grateful for my family. Look at that. Look at that. Do you know that every time you make a list on what you're grateful for, it actually rewires your brain? It rewires your brain. If you think about what you're grateful for every day, just take 3 things every day for 21 days, it changes the way you feel about yourself. Amazing stuff. One last time, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Beautiful stuff, beautiful stuff. Amazing. Trust that felt good, right? Did that feel good? If that felt good, I want you to type yes below. Type yes below. Wow, this is Action Jackson. Welcome to Motivation for the Nation. This is where I increase your dose of happiness. Look, I got my glasses on. I'm feeling good. I got my glasses on, and now I'm feeling good. I got my glasses on, and now I'm feeling good. And now I'm feeling good. And now I'm feeling good. I feel good all the time. I feel good all the time. I feel good all the time. All the time. All the time. Yeah. I feel good all the time. I feel good. Amazing stuff. Well, welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome to the Williams family, Kayla and Akeem. They're grateful for air, books, and family. Thank you. The UK ambassador to Uganda's in the building. Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Well, today's a very special show. I want to deal with a very, very delicate topic. Well, welcome to Christina. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're watching, type where you're watching from. I just want to greet you. I just want to say hello. Don't be shy. I know you're watching. Go on, type. Type now. Type hello so I can call out your name. Type hello. Waiting in the green room is an individual who inspires me. He's an individual who I met many months ago. And as a result of that meeting, we've stayed connected. And it's been beautiful to be able to share ideas and to be able to share his work. We got my family from Welling Garden City. Shout out to you, Christine. Christina says, I'm watching from my desk. Okay, I love that. Where's the desk situated? Welcome, everybody, to Motivation for the Nation. This is me, Action Jackson. I'm just welcoming you this morning. Thank you so much for watching. This is beautiful. We are getting inspired right now. This is what today's show is about. Well, today's show is an interesting topic. Dealing with offense. Dealing with offense. How do you deal with offense? If you've ever been offended by someone, okay? We've got Amsterdam in the building. Welcome, 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 welcome. If you've ever been offended by something or someone, I want you to type yes. Type yes. I'm watching. Type yes. If you've ever been offended by something or someone, I want you to type yes. If you've ever been offended by something or someone, type yes. I want to see, I want to see, I want to see, I want to see. Because offense is something that many of us have not been taught really to really deal with. Offense, it can be quite heartbreaking, offense. And what you find with offense is this. It shifts the way you feel. Oh, wow. Everybody on here, they've been offended. They've been offended. Now watch this. I heard a quote that said, okay, it's not what they do to you, it's how you respond. It's not what they do to you, it's how you respond. So watch this. I'm going to teach you something very, very quickly to kind of help you get over offense. Offense shifts the way you feel, okay? Now, from a scale of 1 to 10, have you gotten over the offense? Yeah? Have you gotten over the offense? 10 is no. 1 is yes, I have. Have you gotten over the offense? Very much quickly. Type up, type up. Dealing with offense. Let's go. So we got yes. All right, I'm seeing that. Oh, wow, 5. Ooh, 10. Okay. All right. 6, 7. Okay, all right. I see that. Okay, watch this very quickly. Very quickly. Now, I did this earlier on this week, and I'm so happy. Watch this. There we go. Can you see this? Is this mirror? I think it's mirror, right? There we go. Let me get my writing pen. Now, what I want to show you very quickly is going to change your life. It's going to change your life. Okay? Everything we do is based on how we respond to situations. Okay? Let me get the right pen. Here we go. Now, E plus R equals O. E plus R equals O. Good morning, Michael Peter. E plus R equals O. Everybody type this up for me, please. Welcome. If you just joined me, this is Action Jackson. Welcome to Motivation for the Nation. Today we're talking about dealing with offense. E plus R equals O. E plus R equals O. Everybody type this up. This is a formula that's going to help you. This is a formula that's going to help your life. E plus R equals O. Type it up on the comments. I'm going to tell you what it means now. E plus R equals O. All right. Now, watch this. The E, and some of you have experienced this, is event. An offense is an event. Maybe someone said something about you. The offense might have been direct. The offense might have been indirect. Maybe someone said something about your family or your race or people that you love. That's an event. Now, can you control the events of life? Sometimes you can, but the majority of the time, you can't really control the events of life. It just happens. But if there's one thing I know you can control is the R, which is, watch this. I love this. Your response. You can control your response. Your response is what's going to determine the O. Who can guess the O? Help me out. Amuse me. Bingo. Your outcome. Event plus response equals outcome. You can control the event, but you may not be able to control you can control the response, but you may not be able to control the event, but you can control the response. Someone offended you. How are you going to choose to respond? You want to respond in such a way where I'm not going to let this affect me. Nope. I know you have offended me in your ignorant state. I will not let what you said contaminate my spirit. I will not let what you said contaminate my happiness. That's a decision. This is a decision. You can control this. Don't you ever said, oh, she did it. He did it. No. You did it to yourself. You responded to that person in the same way they offended you. If someone offends you, bam, and you respond in the same way, guess what? You're both the same. What's going on, Jam's Journey? What's going on, Cass Speak? So you need to learn that this is important. Why am I happy all the time? Because I make sure I stay focused on my response to life, not the event. I might spend 20% of my time on this, but 80% of my time on this. I see the event, but I'm focused on the response. You can control this. This is the only thing I want you to control. How do you begin to control that? Choose who you're going to be no matter what the situation is. Choose who you're going to be. Choose who you're going to be. Don't you ever let the world, you control your response to the world. Yes, there's going to be negative things. Yes, there's going to be people who are going to offend you, but you've got to decide, no, I'm sorry. I have principles to stand by. I'm going to stay happy. I'm going to stay focused. I'm going to stay motivated. Does this make sense? I'm sure this makes sense. You then determine, watch this, the outcome. What are the outcome? Peace of mind, happiness, joy, fulfillment, success, wealth, care, outcome, based on your response. So you can use this formula for anything in life. Yeah, you can use this formula for anything in life. You control this. You may not control this, but if you can focus on that, it's going to affect your outcome. Does that make sense? I'm sure it makes sense. I'm sure it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. Excellent. Very quickly, type below what you got from that before I bring on my amazing guests for today. An individual who decided to respond to their environment in a different kind of way. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Excellent. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen of Motivation for the Nation, welcome. If you're watching right now, this is Action Jackson. Welcome to Motivation for the Nation. I just want to shout out a couple of people who are watching right now. Today, we're talking about dealing with offense. If you're watching, please tap up your name. Let me shout you out. Let me say hello. I don't want to be rude. I don't want to be rude. I don't want to be rude. I just want to shout you out. Big shout out to the Williams family. My family from Amsterdam, Welling Garden City. Cass Speak says, I got that I'm in control of my response. Yes, that's the only thing you're in control of, your response. Okay? Very quickly, I'm going to bring on now an individual who is definitely controlling their response. Good morning.
Morning.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. So I love this amazing young man. He's an individual who wants to let his work speak. That's why he's deciding to sort of remain anonymous on the screen. I was going to say, tell us your name, tell us what you do. Which would be funny. But tell us when did we meet, first of all? When did we meet? You don't have to reveal the name of the school, but when did we meet?
So I think it was around 3-4 months ago. I would say about 3 months ago, sometime in January. Yeah. And you came to do a talk, like a motivational speech at our school. Okay. And I felt like that was like the final push to make this page and just really show what I wanted to say through a medium. So
wow. So for you, so those of you who are watching, I know you can't see him on the screen. He's choosing to remain anonymous, which I think is the coolest thing ever. Honestly, it's so cool. So you've wanted to make a page, and for those of you who are watching, here's an individual who's dealing with offense in a very positive way. He started a page called Motivate and Help, but he didn't want the page to be about him. He wanted the page to be about helping people move forward. So you were saying you had the idea before now, and I did a talk at your school, and that was the final push. What was the transition? What? Because obviously you were like, right, event. Your response was, I'm going to make it, and the outcome is this page here. Tell us about what the dream was just before I spoke to you at your school.
So I've always had a passion for writing, and just I feel like my views, people connect with it quite often. So I thought, let me make this page or some kind of platform that people can read, connect with. Mm-hmm. And like I said, it wouldn't be about me, it'd be about what I had to say. Mm-hmm. And I was kind of in the process of thinking how I could do it so that it would affect the most people, and I thought Instagram would be a good platform to go off, mainly because it's full of pictures, so it's the easiest for you to connect with and read. And then after that meeting, I just thought, let me go for it. Like, there's nothing to lose there. So yeah, I just went for it.
I love that. Let me go for it. That's the attitude. He had a dream to help people stay motivated, and his page is amazing. He's a great writer. I love the way he writes. I'm lazy with writing, so sometimes if I want to say something, if I see it on his page and it resonates with me, I just share it. You know, that's great. Honestly, your stuff is great, and I'm going to be sharing more of your stuff. Tell us a bit about. So here's the question. Today's topic is how to deal with offense. Have you ever been offended?
Oh, many times. Yeah.
In what way have you been offended? Do you mind sharing ways you've been offended?
Oh yeah, so I'd say more often than not, it's through what people say.
Okay.
But I think my approach has always been that to try and understand why they would say that,
Okay.
and to see that what could have made them say, and maybe that then I can like develop myself so that maybe people don't have so much to say anymore. So I
All
try and
right.
understand where they're coming from, and I think, and I don't giving a response doesn't do anything because more often times than not, when people say something offensive, they're
Mhm.
looking for a response, and if you don't give one, then that doesn't continue, and that just stops the argument right there.
Ooh, wait. That just hit me like a love bullet. Ooh. Wait. I hope you're watching, everyone. You've just said to me, when someone offends you, you decide not to respond because if you give them something, so not responding is a response, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
I love that. So you're saying there's fire, but you're saying don't pour fuel in the fire.
No, exactly, because then it gives them something to come back at, and then that will just never end. Because if they're the aggressor in that conversation, you should just take
Hmm.
a step back.
You know, I love you right now. You know, you're amazing right now.
Thank you.
You don't know how many people you're helping by saying this because there's too many people watching who get offended very easily. They go to 100 in note to 60 in 10 seconds.
Exactly, yeah.
Of anger. But what you're saying is, don't pay attention, but don't respond the way you want them to respond.
Exactly, yeah. And if you just take yourself out of that situation, it gives you like a third party view of on the whole situation, and you can evaluate yourself and the other person. And maybe even after things cool down, you can have like a civil conversation and just see where they're coming from. And I think that's the right way to look at it.
So let me break this down. If you're watching right now, I'm being sort of mind blown by this amazing individual. Yes, I know you can't see him. He's chosen to remain anonymous. He wants this to be about his work, not about him. And he's talking about the fact that number one, when you get offended by someone, the first thing he said was try and think why they're doing what they're doing. As in, like, what's the thought? So you're almost exercising empathy in a sense, really.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Wow. So Cass says, that's me. Is that you? Say, I think Cass is the one that gets to 0 to 60 in 10 seconds. In terms of, so what we're talking about dealing with offense, and he is so. Do you know what? You are so. I'm lost for words now. How can Action Jackson be lost for words? I love your wisdom, mate. So you started this page, which is very inspirational. Who is the page targeted to?
Anyone really. So I think the content I put out it could be from I don't know people my age to even people in the mid 20s, late 20s,
Mm.
because it at the end of it, it's just empathy and it's things to think about, things to connect with other people, and I feel like at the end of the day that could be for anyone or any age.
I love that. So if you're just watching, this is Motivation for the Nation, and we're talking about dealing with offense. And one of the things this amazing young man just said to me was that the first thing you do when you get offended is, first of all, see where that person is coming from. When you see where that person is coming from, you have a greater and a deeper level of understanding than before. There's a quote I heard, and you might want to use this. You've got to, first of all, understand before you can be understood. You have to understand before you can be understood. And I think many people want to be understood without understanding where other people are coming from. Because here's the truth. Is it possible that someone who offended you might have had a very bad day and they just lashed out at you? Would you ever? So what are some of the things you've actually discovered as a result of going into that other space, their space?
I feel like it increases my understanding of how people work and how easy it is to get caught up in the moment, but when you just take a step back, and I feel like after that you can really improve a relation, because in that moment I think it's really easy to get heated and have an argument, but it's a lot
Mhm.
harder and it's better for yourself to remove yourself from that position. So not only does that help me, but it also helps the person, because that doesn't continue for them, and let's say they've had a bad day, that
Yeah.
argument, that conversation won't continue, so they will calm down, and so will I. And it's just, I think it makes for a better atmosphere.
Guys, I'm sorry. If you're watching this and this is really, really helping you, and please just type yes. Just type yes. Because I'm sitting here right now and you are helping me big time. And you're helping me to shift my perspective on how to deal with offense, especially on a lockdown where you're locked down with family members.
Yeah.
The probability of offense just went up. So what we're saying is you've got to learn to, number one, step back. Okay, step back from the situation. Number two, understand where they're coming from. Number three, take a time out and then come back before you actually respond to situation. What are some of the practical things you do in order to avoid offense?
I feel like at the core of it, sometimes I think it's impossible to try and bring yourself in the situation that you wouldn't take offense to something. I feel like there will always be that one thing that does offend you, but it's just about that understanding of why that person did that. And I feel like once you realize that there will always be things said, but you have to really hold yourself in high esteem and realize that what they've said isn't 100% true. It's not true. And once you realize that, then you can just look how to move on. And when that happens again, you'll just overlook that and carry on.
I feel like this is like a life class right now. This is like a life class. Honestly, you're going to be such a great teacher. You're already a great teacher. Nancy says, step back from the situation, understand where they are coming from, take a time out and come back to it. I think that works with siblings, that works with marriage, that works with business. So here's an interesting one. I heard today someone was talking to me, and I was talking about the fact that how do you deal with in a situation where someone's offended you, but say for instance like racism, and that's something from a distance, where someone said something offensive, about you as a race. How do you do that? Because do you do the same process? Because I know some people have internalized bitterness out of racism, and they've carried it, and it's affected how they've responded to other races. First question: have you ever experienced racism?
Oh yeah, I have, definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like in those situations, I kind of feel sorry for the person because I realize they're a bit ignorant, and I feel like if they're in that state of mind, me saying anything is not going to change how they act in that moment. So I don't respond, and if they don't get a response, then that gives them more time to think about what they've said and what they've done. And I think somewhere along the line, they'll themselves realize that what they've done is wrong. And I don't need to be the teacher there. I don't need to tell them that, because in that moment, I won't be able to tell them that.
So you're saying is like, don't give in to their venom, don't give in into their poison, don't give in into their toxic energy. Step aside.
Yeah.
And I'm reminded, I'm of a Christian background, and there's a scripture that says, silence is the best answer for a fool.
Exactly,
Silence is the best answer for a fool. Silence. Someone said this guy's a genius. Do you know what? Let me tell you what makes him a genius. He takes the simple lessons of life and he applies it. So a genius isn't something that knows 1,000 things. A genius is something that takes one thing that's effective and does it 1,000 times. And he's obviously learned how to respond to life in a positive way. So many of us get offended too many times. If you're just watching, this is Motivation for the Nation, and we are learning something major here, how to deal with offense. Very quickly right now, everyone, if you're watching, I'm supposed to have another guest come on. I don't even think I've got time for another guest because this guest is too much for me to in one show. Yeah. What are you learning so far, people? Michael Peter says, needed this. Look at what you're doing, sir. You are actually helping the nation right now. Michael,
I'm grateful, yeah.
Very quickly, everyone, I want you to type one thing you've learned so far from the show. One thing you've learned so far from the show. Very quickly, I want you to type it up, type it up, type it up as you're typing up. So what plans do you have, for your page, or what is your ambition, anonymous person?
I think for now it's just to continue like researching about different topics and different things that affect people and writing about it. And I think the greatest thing that we have is to understand where people come from and understanding their emotions. So as long as I can understand that and then develop it, more people will connect with it. And even if I can change one person's mindset on a certain situation, I think that's worthwhile.
Wait, Cass said, I've learned that I've got a lot of work to do. Honestly, let me tell you something, sir. There is something, I have many guests and I speak to many people. I've done many talks. And there are many people that give me knowledge. And there are many people who ooze what they teach. And just from hearing your voice and hearing your demeanor, I can just sense that you are someone who lives this sincerely. And from everybody listening to you, they have truly sort of gotten a lot out of this conversation that we've had today in terms of how to just really, and I think one thing you've taught me today is that I should first of all learn to understand people first before I respond to people. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me get some comments. My people in Welling Garden City says, don't respond to people who are hurting on the inside. Wow, you just feel for them. Shamika says, the response determines the outcome. I love that. Faris says, regardless of how much you're offended, it's always the best option not to feed the offender's ego. Michael Peter says, learn silence is the best response, and I choose how to respond. I love that. Love that. So we got Shamika who says, how I'm going to respond. Yeah, it shows how you're going to respond. I love this. I love this. Guys, we're here. If you're watching right now, this amazing young man started a page called on Instagram _motivate and help. Okay. And you've got like 5 stars, 10 stars on this. Have you got any final words to the people who are watching worldwide? Because this is going to go viral.
I just say that hold that emphatic link that we have with others, because the more we understand, the more we can grow. And in any situation with any person, if you can't understand what they're saying or what they're thinking, if you can't communicate effectively, then we can't grow.
Hold that emphatic link we have with one another. So you're telling me that someone who is evil, there is a connection between me and them. But my job is to try and find that common ground. And if I hold up that link, empathy kicks in, and I might be able to save that person rather than
Yeah.
David, who's supposed to be the guest for the show, he's watching. He said, life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we respond.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm just going to leave that on the screen with this cute face on it. Emphatic link. Is that what you said? Empathic link.
Yeah, emphatic link, yeah.
Emphatic. What's the difference between emphatic and empathic? It's the same thing, it's just pronunciation, right?
I think yeah.
Yeah. So there's a link of empathy, that thread that connects me to you. So what you're telling me is this, and I'm gonna sort of wrap up with this. There is an empathic link between me and Donald Trump.
Yeah, somewhere along the way.
somewhere there. A thin thread. There is a link between me and the person who is offensive. That's what you're saying.
Because at the core of it, there will always be like a set of beliefs or a set of values that you can maybe connect on. And then when you build on that, you realize you have a lot more in common with the other person than you think.
Guys, are you listening to this? If more people thought like this, the world would be a beautiful place. The world will be a beautiful place. I love this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Motivation for the Nation. I'm being blown away. We're talking about how to deal with offense. Many people get offended all the time. And we've got to learn to deal with the offense. We've got to learn to deal with the offense. And sometimes it can be heartbreaking. If you want to follow this amazing young man on his page, here is his Instagram page. Could you please do a write-up on what you said today and post it? Because I would love to share it with the world.
Oh yeah, sure, definitely. I can have it
Yeah.
back today.
Yeah, it's so loaded. 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 Guys, thank you so much. People already following your page. People are already following your page. This is so great. They're already following. Start following now. Now, I command you to go and follow. Because if you follow, you'll be like just looking at his page. They're looking at your page as we speak. Look, right there, right there.
Oh man.
Everyone's looking at your page. Increase his followership right now. Because if the world learns from this guy, it'll be a different place. Yeah. David, click your link. I want you back on the show. Let's discuss what this guy did to us. You've just messed me up. If you would love this amazing young man to come back to the show, type yes. David, click the link. I want you back. Let's just discuss this to wrap up the show. I don't think there's anything else we need to do on the show than to just talk about the empathic link, empathic, that's between you and I. So if someone's offended, connect. Thank you so much, young man. All the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Wow. Wow. Did you hear how he even finished? He said, thank you so much. Thank you, family. That's what he said just now. Imagine if more of us thought that way. I'm being blown away. David, did you just hear that?
I mean, yeah, that was crazy. What a really inspiring young man. I'm assuming he's a young man. He sounds like a young man. Yeah.
Well, he's a very, very young man. I spoke at his school a couple of months ago, and he just came and blew me away.
Sometimes it's that one student in that whole cohort that makes such a difference and just makes when you know all the bad stuff just fizzle away. Like honestly. I said, I mean, my biggest takeaway from that was he's so right. Like 10%, and that's why I wrote life is 10% what happens to you and 90% on how it reacts. Because realistically, you can only be offended if you react to the thing that somebody is trying to say to you or trying to sideswipe you with. Wow.
So let's go deep, because I need another conversation with us, because I know once we get started, we'll be here till 1 o'clock. And I just want to unpack what we just witnessed, because as I was listening to me, there was a spirit that came upon me. The spirit of calm came upon me, which essentially, if someone offends you, you want to strangle them. That's the automatic response. But what he's saying is there is a link between me and the person who's offended me, and my challenge is to find that connection between me and the person that offended me, and then use that to kind of build. And that would be my response. Whee!
Yeah. Well, I always kind of think to myself, if somebody's trying to say something to get a reaction out of you, then there's more going on in their day than there is in my day. And I'm not really one to be offended. Probably I'd be the type of person who would think about something from like 5 years ago and go, oh my gosh, that was really offensive. But, you know, by now I'm like, I'm over it, you know?
Wow. Yeah. So you're saying like you've got this delayed response to offense.
Yeah, because then you kind of, well, now, because I do what I do, you kind of understand what it is that people do and how they tick and what makes them work. So then now you have a little bit more of an almost like see it happening in slow motion. Oh, okay, this person's trying to do this. So when you replay events in your past, you go, oh, that person was trying to offend me. Oh, brilliant. Okay. Now I'm a little bit offended, but I'm over it.
So funny. I love that. So, I mean, guys, if you're watching, we just had an amazing conversation with the young man who talked about dealing with offense. And he said, listen, the first thing, step back, empathize with the person, then find the common ground, which I think is a noble way of reacting. I've got David here, who is the founder of Coaching the Man. And he's also an amazing guy. And I love your spirit, David. You're so amazing. What I love about you is your hunger for knowledge. That's really powerful. Tell us about the importance of, you've called it coaching the man. Why is it important to coach the man?
I started it because I became really passionate about the mental health of men and suicide prevention. That's kind of where I wanted to focus and focus the lens. But I have all sorts of clients that I coach. I coach women and young people and all sorts. But coaching the man felt a little bit more like we're coaching the man, we're coaching the woman, we're coaching the human. You know, it's all of those kind of things. And of course, I am the guy who will be doing the coaching. So I am, of course, the man. But it also questions what we kind of do a lot in life, which is we question our masculinity and we question masculinity. And I've had times in my life where that's been questioned. So that's kind of how it was intrinsically linked into how it became coaching the man.
Wow. This is so amazing. This is obviously your Instagram page, Coaching the Man, that we've got on there right now. So if you're a man or woman watching that need that sort of pep talk, that coaching, you run some lives, don't you? You do some live on Instagram as well.
Yeah, so I do a live on Saturday, which is called Live at 5. It's just a little interruption to your day to kind of check in where you're at, because as these lockdowns increase and as we move through like extensions, so like the UK gets an extension and Ireland gets an extension and all of these things. And sometimes we just need to check in with ourselves, where we're at, what we're doing, how did the last week go, how's the next week going to go? Because really, if you're not adding structure to these days, then they just become this kind of like water spilt everywhere and you just don't know how to figure out what structure you've got. So those are things. I do a workshop on a Tuesday, which is tonight. That's the Be Mankind workshop. That's been running for about 4 weeks. Yeah, we've got a really good core group of people that we get together and we discuss all sorts. And I think I'm going to take some empathy and some offense, and I'm going to put that into tonight and see how the group that we've got have ever been affected by being offended, because I think it's something that we've all experienced.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I think when we're talking about offense, I mean, we're all going to face it. And even for me personally, I mean, I had a conversation about what's happening to Black people in China at the moment, who are just blatantly, they're saying, listen, Black people are not allowed in restaurants. They're not allowed in certain places because they were the reason why coronavirus came about in China. And I thought to myself, wow, that's actually deep. How do you handle that where you're being ostracized on such a level? So there's a lot of offense happening. I mean, offense has been happening since the beginning of mankind.
Yeah, and it's interesting because, like, as somebody who lives in London, like I live in London most of the time, and you know, back in the 90s, early 90s, I'm gonna just ballpark it there. But there used to be signs on like pub doors and shop doors, which were like no blacks, no Irish, no dogs. So those three things were categorized together. And the thing is that as long as we're living and breathing, there will always be hate. Someone will always find somebody to hate. But it's how you react to that and how you take it on. And some of it's unfortunately impossible to ignore. But you have to believe that person who's preaching hate is probably more angry with themselves and their life than they are at you. You know, it's the blanket they're throwing at you.
Yeah. No, honestly, I think it's so important. And thank you so much for your take on things. That key thing that you said, life is pretty much 10% what happens to you and 90% on how you respond to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Wow. I mean, like with everything, with good, with bad, with indifference, it's all relative.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for coming on to just, I wanted just to have a longer conversation, but that first conversation, I was just blown away. I mean,
you should come on live at 5 on Saturday. We'll broadcast it on both channels.
That would be great. A joint show. Yes.
Yeah,
that would be great.
Do it.
This Saturday. That would be amazing. Thank you so much for coming on. David and I, we work together closely. We're always inspiring one another. He inspired me with a quote that he put up. I'm not going to talk about the quote, otherwise we're going to go into the quote. But the quote he said today.
We'll be here all day.
Exactly. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond to it. People, as you're watching, focus on your response. Like this, focus, event is life. You can't control it, but you can control how you respond, which will determine your outcome. Beautiful stuff. David, thank you so much for your time, mate.
You the man. You the man.
Thank you.
Keep doing it. Loving it. Loving your work.
All right. Excellent. Wow. What a show. What a show. What can I say? That was amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for taking something out of today's show. I want you to walk away more empowered on dealing with offense, because in the life that we're living, we don't need to be offended more because our emotions are precious. Protect your emotions because that's where your life comes from. Do not take offense very, very, very easily because it can affect you. Okay, so I'm going to finish the way I finish off my show every single week. I've got my music video that I'm going to play right now, which many of you have seen, but I want you to finish off the show on a high note so that you can actually go away with good vibes, Thank you so much. We're live every single day to every single weekday. We're live every single weekday. Join us. Happiness is key. This is Motivation for the Nation, and I know you're going to stay motivated. Here you go. This is the music video. Enjoy, and I'll see you live tomorrow. Here we go. Where's the music video? Come on. That's it.
365. Spreading happiness 24/7. Worldwide. Action Jackson. Ambassador for happiness. Let's do this. Every time you wake up, don't forget you're amazing. You're a star, and that's never changing. Your life could be hard, but life is a gift. Do a little dance and move to the beat. I know negativity will come your way, but you stay positive. Like every single day, they don't hold your destiny. Better live each day like a legacy. I know sometimes you cry, but joy comes in the morning. Younger, keep your head up high. I got you when you're falling. I know sometimes you cry, but joy comes in the morning. Younger, keep your head up high. I got you when you're falling. I'm HAPPY, 365, yeah. I'm HAPPY, that's the only way to stay alive. I'm HAPPY, 365, yeah. I'm HAPPY, that's the only way to stay alive.
Thank you so much. Take care. Have a great day.
I'm HAPPY, that's the only way to stay alive. I'm HAPPY,
365, yeah.
I'm HAPPY, that's the only way to stay alive. Happy World 365.com. Join the happiness movement.